Welcome to this episode of Mainline Connect. I'm Jennifer Lynn Robinson, and my guest today is Tyra Gardner, who's a therapist and anger management specialist. Thank you for being here, Tyra.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jennifer.
So we like to start off the show with a networking topic, and I know, obviously you've been doing what you're doing for a while, but you've recently started your own practice.
Yes.
And I wanted to hear from you how important you think it is to network with other industry professionals as far as getting referrals, giving referrals and getting referrals. How important has that been so far to grow your business?
Oh, it's been very important because trying to get new clients and everything can be somewhat difficult and trying with so many people in the same profession. So basically going out, attending networking events, you can always find someone needs help in some aspect of their life when it comes to therapy and anger and any type of situation that they might be going through, whether it's depression, anything, so it's like all professions is pretty much when it comes to therapy, all professions are open,
Right.
For help when it comes to therapy.
Now, I would think with the anger management, though, I can't see going to a networking event and going up to somebody and saying something like, you look angry, you probably need my services. I'm sure it's not the way it works,
No.
right? Yeah. So it's more, people either coming to you on their own and realizing they have a problem, or referrals, I guess, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
when I do go to networking events, I introduce myself, let everyone know what I do, and as soon as I say it, people start laughing, and then they come over and they like, oh, can I talk to you? And then, can I please have your card? And then they might pull me aside. Can I have your card? I'm having these issues at home,
Okay.
or I'm having these issues in my office, and they want to network, and
that's
communicate, outside of the inside of the networking event, because they don't really want everyone to know,
No, of course not. That's private.
what's going on, of course.
Yeah. So, you're a certified anger management specialist, is that right?
Yes.
What does that mean? Yeah.
Becoming certified as an anger management specialist, what does that mean? Pretty much, I'm able to offer other advanced services that other professionals may not be able to offer in regards to group therapies, and interventions, mediation, any type of additional practice that most therapists might not be able to perform. Because I'm nationally certified through the Anger Management Association, I'm able to do so.
Got it.
I had specialized training in the area.
Okay. And what made you decide to focus your therapy practice on anger?
Oh my goodness, it was so much going on.
Yeah.
I seen myself becoming angry at a lot of different things that was happening in my career, and it was just like, I'm like, this can't be happening. So I took a step back and I started reevaluating my own life and trying to get myself together. And then as I was reevaluating myself, I'm like, wow, I'm looking around and I seen on the news, it was like so many people getting angry,
Yeah.
and it was just like, wow, why is the world so angry? Why is everybody mad about something? Whether it's something at home, whether it's something, at work, whether it's just life in general. Because a lot of people be angry about things and don't know why they're angry,
Yeah.
Until they sit down and meet with someone. And so that was my reason for going into anger management. I feel as though that's something that we all have. And it's like being a professional in it. You can't say, well, I didn't experience it, but I want to practice it. No, that doesn't work.
Right.
You have to be able to offer up some kind of information to help others, with it. And so that was my reason for going in, to be able to try to help people with overcoming anger, stress, and being able to de-stress their lives and declutter their lives of all of the negativity that's going on.
And if people don't do that, if they don't declutter their life of the anger, in what ways have you seen that it can really impact them?
They end up with heart disease. They can have a stroke, heart attack, obesity, a number of things as far as medically can happen to a person who does suffer from severe anger, who allows it to manifest without getting treatment. That's just that type of situations that occur. But then there's also the mental health piece, where we're suffering from depression, suicide, anxiety over numerous things that could be going on in our lives. So anger not treated can really cause a lot of damage.
Yeah. I was thinking when I was preparing for your interview, there was this movie that came out years ago called Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Have you seen it?
Yes, that's one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie. And it's, I think it really tells, you know, a scary but I think very true and accurate picture of a lot of times in life there's just that one more step where if something happens, even if it's minor, that's the thing that like was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yes.
And you know, first you look at the movie and you think, how did, you know, that set him off to do all these other things that happen? But there's so many people going through so many things in their life that you're not aware of.
Right.
And you know, when you have that interaction with them at the gas station where they blow up and you think it wasn't that bad, why did they blow up? There's usually 10 things behind that.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly, because we never know what's going on in someone's life or someone's mind, you know, to the point that they get to the point where they do have an explosion.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, but I didn't do anything.
Right.
And it's like, it's not, 9 times out of 10, it's not you.
Yeah.
It's something that they were going through personally, and they just don't know how to handle it and address it in an appropriate manner.
Absolutely. So I know obviously there's, you know, client privilege with what you do, but, you know, without naming names, is there a great success story you could share with us?
I think a lot of my success stories come from when I treat patients. A lot of them might come through and say, oh, I don't need anger management. I don't need any assistance with anger management. I don't have any problems. But then all of a sudden they'll come in, they'll share their problems. And I think my success stories, once they realize that they do have a problem with anger and they do see situations that have occurred, you know, throughout their lives, and then they recognize and then they acknowledge that they want help from someone.
Which is a big step.
A very big step, because a lot of people, you know, the first stage is denial. Nobody wants to admit that they need help. And when it comes to therapy, and whether it's anger management, whether it's individual, family, no one wants to admit that they have a problem and not even want to address it.
Right.
So it's like, to address this issue, you know, is like a very major step. You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think therapy in general, you know, I was in therapy for a number of years after an accident I had, and I think there's still stigma attached to it. You know, I mean, the idea of going to therapy, people don't think they need it. And then even when it's been successful for them, a lot of people don't share it. You know, they don't share, well, you know, you have this issue and I went to therapy for this and this could help you too. It's like just sort of not spoken about for the most part.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. People still are hiding behind their problems and don't want to address them, you know, because they have this whole idea that, oh, only crazy people go to therapy. And I'm like, well, you can't call people crazy. You know, I'm like, everyone's not normal, but we're not going to say people are crazy either. Everyone needs someone to talk to. And sometimes you might not have that outlet at your house. You might not have that outlet at work. You know, you just need someone to talk to. And sometimes a stranger is the best person to talk to.
Absolutely.
You know, because the thing is, they're not judging your life. They're not judging anything that you're doing. You know, they're not forming any kind of opinion about it. They're just listening as a listening ear, or offering an opinion, or giving you a suggestion on how to handle your life situation.
Now, with your anger management patients, do you find that a lot of times you have other family members kind of enter into the therapy with them, or no?
Well, they would enter in, but like at a later date.
Okay.
You know, only if I see that there is a issue where it was another family member who's causing the problems.
Okay.
I try not to have sessions where the person initially is there is someone else that's causing the problem. I try to hold them accountable for what's going on, so that they can try to make the change first. Now, if I see that the change is not them and the change is the other person, then I will ask them to bring that person in.
Okay, that
and
makes
we
sense.
could sit down and we can all, you know, talk about what's going on. So this way I can get the other person's side. So I would meet with them together to see exactly what's the issue. Then I would separate them.
Okay.
And I would meet with the other individual individually, just to get their side of the story. Because there's 3 sides to every story. Your side, their side, the truth.
Of course.
You know, and so as therapists, we try to differentiate what is the truth from what is being told.
And I like what you said, you know, because I feel like people coming in with any issue, it's much easier to lay the blame elsewhere than to take accountability for your role in the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the practice that you have, where are your offices located?
I have an office located on 225 City Avenue in Bala Cynwyd.
Okay.
City Line Avenue. I'm within another practice, which is Butterfly Love, LLC. And I'm also located at Empowerment Resource Associates, which is at 1822 Spring Garden in Philadelphia.
So you see clients at both locations?
Yes.
Suburbs and city?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it by appointment?
It's by appointment, and I also do phone therapy, also phone consultations.
Okay.
And phone therapy also.
Do you do any group therapy?
I do. Yes. The when I'm at Empowerment, I do group therapy.
Okay.
And when I'm at the private practice in Bala Cynwyd, I see individual and families.
Okay. Okay, great. So as far as finding your clients, I know we talked a bit about, how the importance of referrals. How do you market your services, especially since it's a new business? What have you found has worked well for you?
What I've found work well with me is doing a lot of networking events.
Okay.
Going out, doing a lot of networking events. I've posted ads on LinkedIn also and Facebook, and people will inbox me and discuss, issues that they may be having, and I will bring them in to the office to meet with them.
With something like LinkedIn, do you do any of those LinkedIn posts where you write about different topics related to your industry?
I have done a couple in regards to anger management around certain times of the year.
Okay. Like the holidays.
Holidays,
like that.
mainly
holidays.
mainly holiday time. Mainly holiday time. You'll see me post something on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook about some of the surviving the holidays.
Right.
Because the holidays is always
very relevant to everyone.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But now I'm like seeing that there's a lot of other issues that come up during other holidays during the year, and planning of vacations and things like that, and people, suffering from anxiety about those holidays, the summer holidays like Labor Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, and things of that nature.
Or even, even when you're doing something fun like a vacation, there's the stress that can come from trying to prepare for the vacation and get your stuff done.
Right.
And then transitioning back from the vacation. And,
right.
All of it can cause problems.
Because a lot of people get depressed when they return from vacation.
Absolutely.
Because it's like they had such a good time, they really don't want to leave. And I've heard numerous stories of people that I know will cry when it's time to come back, because it's like, I don't want to come back to work.
Who wants
I don't
to come
want to do nothing.
Yeah. So, we actually were talking a little bit before your interview today, and I'm interested to hear more about what you were telling me. You said that you've started to talk to a lot of people related to problems they're having with business partners as in relation to anger management and things like that. Tell me more about that.
So what I offer for business owners is I pretty much offer a ventilation service.
Okay.
Because a lot of things happen in business, and it doesn't matter what industry of business that you're in, because when you're dealing with the general public, sometimes we have issues with people who may become angry because things are not right, whether it's a call center type of environment, or whether it's you see people on a daily basis. And as business owners, we don't have an outlet, and rather than take it home to your family and have outbursts with them, you could call me and speak with me about the issues that you might be having, and we can brainstorm and come determine some type of a conflict resolution, so that you don't experience the type of problems that you're having, where you will take it out on your employees or take it out on your family.
That's
and
great.
so that's what, another service that I added, I kind of fell into it, which was good, because it's just like everybody needs an outlet at some point when it comes to business, and sometimes things go on and you don't want the staff to know what's happening. So to have a business therapist to talk to is always great.
And, you talked about the example of business partners sort of on a smaller scale, but, a lot of times at big companies, one person can really bring down a team. Sometimes if there's a bad boss, that the whole team will leave, and you'll lose all those good employees because there weren't issues that were addressed.
Yeah, exactly. And so I do offer that business therapy service, and I will come out and do trainings or do interventions or anything that needs to be done in the corporate setting as well as in a small business setting.
Okay, I think that's great for people to know about.
Yes, and I also offer it as a phone service because I know with everyone's busy schedules, they can't all the time make it in.
Right.
So doing phone therapy, and calling in, that's something that's an option also, or phone consultations about what's going on.
Okay, great. So, I'm looking at your kind of resume and your LinkedIn and everything. I saw that you have a big background in direct sales, like marketing.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, how have those skills kind of helped you kind of market and run your business now?
Pretty much. Because I started out in doing Market America and selling Motive Cosmetics. I started out in Market America back in the 90s.
Wow.
I left the company and came back.
Okay.
In like 2000 and I guess 6 I came back, and then I started with Dove Chocolate Discoveries.
That's what I thought. I knew I saw something about chocolate because that stuck with me.
Yeah. Yep. So Dove Chocolate Discoveries. I've been a chocolatier with them for going on, I guess, 8 years or 9 years
still doing that
now. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I call myself the chocolate therapist, so I'm still working with Dove.
Well, that's a good tie-in with the therapy. Yeah, I like that.
Chocolate keeps people calm.
Absolutely.
And so what I find with direct sales as well as therapy and working a therapy practice and anger, it all corresponds because it's all helping people.
Okay.
You know, it's helping people in different areas and different aspects of their life. Whereas with Market America, that we have the life, you know, where we have the healthy products. In addition to, we have cosmetics, which help people with appearance and weight loss and things of that nature. We also have a music line with that, which that helps people with entertainment.
Sure.
And then with chocolate always soothes everyone.
Right. Chocolate makes every situation better.
Exactly. Chocolate does it all when it comes to Dove chocolate. And it's just like with the therapy practice, just trying to keep people calm and happy.
Yeah.
You know, and just giving them the life that they deserve.
So you still do the Market America also, or?
I still do it, but not as much as I was.
Okay, all right. So then I know that, you know, we talked about you've also invented your own therapeutic product line. I want to get it right. It's called Calme. Is that
Calm?
Oh, it's okay because I saw the little accent. I wasn't sure. It's called Calm.
Yeah, everyone's like Calm.
And it's a tea and distressing kit. Tell me about that.
Okay, so the Calm tea line came about. I launched it back in May of this year.
Okay, so pretty recently.
Yeah, pretty recent. And so what it is with being in therapy, one of the techniques that they always say to use is try to find things that can relax you. Mm-hmm. I know for me, what relaxes me is drinking a nice cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know, drinking tea and drinking water always keeps me calm. And so that's when I came out with the tea line, pretty much bringing a calm aspect to everyone's life.
Okay.
So the flavors that I have are peppermint, ginger peach, healthy skin, and Caribbean fruit.
Oh, they sound good.
So the reasons I came up with those flavors was because peppermint is always a good calming.
Sure.
You know, and it helps for calming colds. It helps with the digestive system and everything like nature of the health things of that nature. Mm-hmm. In addition to the ginger peach also helps with soothing of digestive system, and it tastes great.
Yeah, it sounds like a great combination.
Yeah, and the Caribbean fruit, because who doesn't want to think about the Caribbean when they're feeling bad? You know, try to take yourself away to a faraway place for a moment, you know, before kind of having a reality check. And then a healthy skin, because healthy skin, we need to focus on having a healthy lifestyle. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know,
so it's the kind of thing people would drink before bed, or it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay,
it doesn't really matter, because throughout the day, I think we all need something to calm us.
So whenever you're feeling like you need something to help you stay calm during the day, it would be a good time to have this product.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I mean, a lot of people their go-to is coffee.
Yeah.
You know, my go-to.
So these are no caffeine, I would think, right?
No.
Okay.
My go-to is tea.
Okay. Because there are teas that have caffeine, but the ones that you have, I would assume, are not caffeine.
No, they're caffeine free.
Okay. Because you're right. Because caffeine can hype people up, and it kind of does the opposite of de-stressing and
exactly.
All that. So,
and that's one of the things that we have to stay away from. You know, with de-stressing your life is teas.
Yeah.
I mean coffee. Coffee.
Yeah, and even teas. A lot of tea with caffeine.
A lot of tea with caffeine.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So if people are interested in this product, where do they find it?
They can find it on my website, tyrasgardner.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, you know, as far as running your own practice, since it has been relatively new, tell us about some challenges you faced, or maybe one challenge you faced, and then tell us what you really love about being an entrepreneur.
One of the challenges I faced, I guess right now, is just being a new business and up and running is just like one of the challenges is just trying to find clients and keep them coming in, you know, and just trying to find people to help, you know, because a lot of people, as we stated earlier, they don't want to admit that they need help. And so that's like a challenge that I sometimes face, you know, with being a new business owner.
Yeah.
But other than that,
you love it.
You know, I love being an entrepreneur. I love the flexibility in my own schedule. I love not having to answer to anyone. If anything goes wrong, it's me. I'm the responsible party. I am the one that did it. I'm the, you know, the one to go to. What I love is, like, now I've taken everything that I've learned from all of the other managers, supervisors, other bosses that I've had in my past, and I looked at all of the negative things that they've done wrong, and I've decided to, you know, incorporate their wrongs into my practice so that I know the things that I want to do right, so that my employees won't suffer from what I suffered from when I was working, you know, working under a lot of management that wasn't
getting help.
Right, that wasn't getting the help that they need.
Right. So, you know, you talked about the challenges of finding clients. Do you go to a lot of kind of, I guess, events or maybe part of an organization where you have other therapy industry professionals that you can network with as far as referring each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm part of a couple of organizations that do help me. Calling all female entrepreneurs,
Okay.
which can be found on Facebook.
Is that Nicole Newman's?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I love
that's
her.
Yes, that's her group. And a lot of industry professionals, therapy professionals is also a part of that group.
Okay.
I also belong to a couple, the American Psychological Association, and they have events in the area, so I try to network professionals there. I meet with people from confessionals. I talk with them, about different things. Some of the ladies that's in that organization, and also the Lower Marion Networking Women of Pennsylvania.
So get out there. You got to get out there.
Yeah, you got to get out there. So
Yeah.
I try to attend as many events as I can, to get the practice out there and everything.
Now, how do you balance it all?
I keep my iPod, my iPhone, everything is charged.
Right.
Got a date book on everything, just trying to keep it all intact.
As far as the networking that you do, do you have any methodology as far as, like, I have friends who say, I don't want to go out more than 2 nights a week, or, I make a goal of going to one networking event a week or one a month. Do you do anything like that? Or
I just started doing that because in the past I was at every networking event. I was ripping and running.
Like
I was all over the place, and it's just like I just started trying to reevaluate the things that I'm doing, because
you can't be everywhere.
You can't be everywhere, not at one time. And I'm just like, I need to sit back. So now I'm starting to get myself into the practice of maybe 1 or 2 networking events per month, opposed to trying to go to 1 to 2 to 3 networking events per week.
Okay.
So I said this way I can manage my time a little bit better.
Yeah, and then I always tell people you have to start reassessing what you're involved in. So, maybe at the end of the year, you'll look at what you're involved in, what groups you've joined, what organizations, and see how they're working for you.
Exactly, yes.
And if they're not, some of them aren't working well, then it's time to reassess and maybe try something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, you can't be, I did the same thing when I started my business. I was out every night, everywhere, every event, joined every organization. And then at some point you start getting clients and you said, well, when am I going to do the work?
Right.
When am I going to exercise? When am I going to see my husband? Whatever it is.
Right. I think that's what was happening with me. I started realizing, like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm all over the place. Like, I really need to calm down.
Right.
So once I started getting myself into the practice of calming down with my running around, now I'm able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm like, okay, now I can balance things a little bit more, more appropriately.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So shifting away from your business a little, we're about halfway through 2016. Do you have any kind of goal for yourself, a personal goal, like a bucket list kind of goal that you're trying to achieve this year?
Oh my gosh, I never really thought about it. It's just like, I was looking at them like, wow, what do I want to, I would like to go on at least 2 vacations before the end of this year.
Anywhere in particular you want to go?
No,
or doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Caribbean,
even matter.
Yeah.
It's like anywhere. It's like anywhere. I'm like, I don't have anything, really set just yet. And I'm just like, if I can get 2 vacations in this year, that would be great.
And I think one of the things that's important with that, and I'm sure you've probably talked to some of your clients about this, is a lot of times people say that in the abstract. Oh, I definitely, last year I didn't make time for vacation, and this is going to be the year I'm going to take the vacation. But you really have to get that scheduled on the calendar, because it's very easy for time to go by and just say, well, I'll maybe next month, maybe in the winter, maybe, and then you just never take the break.
Yeah, and it's just like, I usually go away every 2 years. I would take a big vacation where I would go away like for 1 week. The first week of June, and this year I didn't do it, and so the trip got moved to the end of July. But then it was so much coming up the end of July, I was just like, I guess I'm not going to be able to do it.
So you canceled it again?
So yes, I canceled it again. So I just said, well, I'll figure something out. I said, I'll get something together before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I could think of that I really want. My own personal goal for this year is to go on at least 2 vacations.
And it's hard with a new business. You feel like you can't really get away from it.
Yeah, because it's just like I find myself when I say I'm not going to work, I'm working.
Right, right. It is. You're thinking of it 24/7.
All day, all night.
All the time. Yeah, I get it. So, you mentioned a couple networking organizations. You mentioned the calling all females entrepreneurs and femme professionals. And I know there was one other one you mentioned to me. I don't know why it's escaping
Oh,
me.
Lower
Marion Community Network.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So are those some of the ones that have helped you as far as growing the business so far? Is there something you would recommend to other people?
Yes, I definitely recommend all three, as an opportunity for people to go out and check out those organizations. I also joined a new organization recently called the Prestige Society.
Oh, I haven't
which
heard of that
also
one.
is a new organization that just started, and they help women business owners with getting the basic steps into their business.
Okay.
And everything. And so they also are a good one that helps.
Do they do monthly events? Is it more
they
kind of
do,
educational?
They do both. They
Okay.
do monthly events, and they do also have educational events.
Okay,
That
that's
they
great.
do also that they offer business owners. So definitely, yeah.
So yeah, you touched on something that I think is also interesting. Like, I know for me, I was a lawyer, and then I decided I was going to be an entrepreneur, and I really had no skills as far as learning how to run a business. Some people have their MBA, or maybe they've had a family business, or they've helped with a business, and a lot of us are just kind of thrown in.
Right.
Did you have any kind of training? Like, did you do anything to prepare yourself for running a business, or?
Believe it or not, no.
No. Yeah.
I did no training. I have family members that have businesses, and I seen what they were doing, and then a lot of my friends own daycares, and so it was just like I watched all of their processes, but no, it was just like I just knew that I wanted to start a business. And in the late 90s, I done several things. I started an event planning business back then, and I just, it was like every time I got into a slump, I would find something new to start,
right?
Just to keep my mind occupied and things to do. And it was just like everything I did, I'm like, I like doing that, but I need to do something else. And it was just like I went through several phases, of my life that I wanted to start my own business, but then it was just like always a job would come through or school would come through, and I would be like, all right, I need to focus on one thing at a time.
Right.
And it was just like I'm always all over the place. And so it was like finally it was like, all right, you need to focus on one thing. And so a couple years ago I said, all right, I'm gonna focus on this business and call it the day, because I can't keep being all over the place. So
what do you think kind of made you decide, like, around this time now, that this was the time for you to run your own business? What was it that kind of propelled you to say, this is it?
Issues at a job.
Okay. All right. It's funny. It's always that kind of situation.
Issues at a job. It was just
it's either issues at a job, or getting fired from a job, or some other kind of big life change, like a divorce or something, that propel people, I think, to do better things.
Issues at a job. It was just like things was going sour. I seen nothing happening, and it was just like I got to the point where I was just like, all right, I either got to make a change, either leave the job or change myself, or, come to terms with what's going on and just accept what's happening,
And obviously you didn't accept it.
Right. And
which
it was
is fine,
like, right. And I was just like, I got to do what I have to do. So I started, making changes within myself, and started doing things to try to get myself into a better place.
Yeah.
Because I found myself going into a hole from dealing with, mismanagement and things of that nature. And so that's when I decided, okay, now it's time for me to start.
For you to be your own boss.
To be my own boss and do what I need to do.
That's great. So, let people know, I know you mentioned your office locations, but how can people reach you if either, maybe they feel like they need some help, or maybe they know somebody who could use your services?
Okay, you can reach me on, I'm on all social media, Tyra S. Gardner or Tyra Gard1 on all social media. I'm also on a website, tyrasgardner.com, and I could also be reached at 855-2151.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today. It's been great having you on.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.